The following program was pre-recorded. This is an ABC 13 Community Close-Up. Crossroads with Melanie Lawson.
Well, good afternoon. Happy Father's Day and welcome to Crossroads. I'm Melanie Lawson. It is a very special occasion in many homes, but when it comes to African American families, fathers, and especially absent fathers, are often blamed for problems in Black households. While there may be some truth to that, it is certainly not the whole story. In fact, a recent report by the Centers for Disease Control found that Black fathers were the most involved with their children daily than any other racial group. And it didn't matter whether or not they lived with their children or they didn't. Well, one of those fighting those negative stereotypes is activist Deric Muhammad, and today he is hosting a day of encouragement for Black men to support them and help them continue to be responsible dads. He is our guest today on Crossroads, and we are delighted to have you once again. Good to see you.
Honored to be here. Good to see you too.
Well, thank you so much. Now, why did you decide it was so important to create this day of encouragement?
We believe that in the inner city there are many problems. And too often, those problems are blamed on the male in the inner city. Now, we have to admit that there is a problem with absentee fathers in our community. But at the same time, there are so many false myths associated with being a Black father. And we recognize some of the hardships that are in the way. When you look at the high rate of incarceration, when you look at the homicide rate, when you look at the high rate of unemployment in our community, it can sometimes be difficult to fulfill your divine duty as a father. So we thought that we would make today, Father's Day, a day of encouragement for Black fathers and all fathers.
But this isn't just an opportunity to issue a whole lot of words of support, is it? Are you also talking about some ways to make those relationships better?
Most definitely. We believe that one of the ways that the relationships can be made better is if first and foremost we as fathers unite. So today at McGregor Park, we want fathers who may not be able to afford to spend time with their children today to bring them to McGregor Park. We'll have food, we'll have activities, and everything will be free. What we want to do is we want to focus on that father-son, father-daughter bond, and what we'll do is we'll dispel the myths not just by what we say, but by what we do.
Now, you have something called the 4 E's that you talk about. Tell me what that is.
The 4 E's are the four E's of child support. When we think of the term child support, it's usually one-dimensional and it has a negative stereotype.
And it has to do with money for the most part.
Absolutely, which happens to be one of the E's.
Yeah.
Economics is one of the dimensions of child support. You have to be able to feed your family. Education is another dimension. That means we have to give our children knowledge, but you can't give what yourself you do not have. So we want to encourage fathers to acquire knowledge and pass it along to their children because it's something that the IRS cannot take away from them when you're no longer here. The other E is encouragement. There's nothing like a father's voice sitting on the sideline at a football game saying, go, 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 go. And the other E, I can't think of it right now, but there are 4 of them.
There are 4 of them. I know what you mean. But let's talk realistically about some of the issues out there that we do have in our community and the fact that a lot of fathers, for whatever reasons, are not as involved as they should be in their children's lives. Do you think we as a community have I don't want to say encouraged that, but certainly allowed it to happen without being more forceful about some of those missing fathers?
I believe that our expectations of fathers have been lowered in our community. And it's time for us to raise the bar again. And who better to raise the bar than we as men, we as fathers. So yes, I believe that the expectations have been lowered and that many of us have been allowed to kind of get away from performing our divine duty. But, you know, my word to every father is that you can never get away from being a dad. So if you have been a bad father, we want to encourage you to be a good father. If you've been a good father, we want to encourage you to be a great father. If you've been a great father, we want to encourage you to be an even greater father. And if you just feel like you can't do no better, we want to encourage you to encourage the rest of us who can do a little bit better.
Yeah, and you feel like mentoring is a major part of that, I assume. Other good fathers talking to younger men.
Absolutely, absolutely. Part of being a good father is recognizing that once you have secured your relationship with your own family, that there are others who need father figures as well. When you look at the high rate of incarceration and the breakneck speed with which black males are going into prison, there are young daughters and sons who are left without fathers, and they're out here raising themselves. So we want to develop an each one, teach one mentality in our community, and a part of that is mentorship, mentorship, mentorship.
Well, Brother Deric Muhammad, appreciate you so much. A happy Father's Day to you. I do want to mention the Day of Encouragement is today at 3 o'clock in McGregor Park. If you want more information, you can go right there to his email or to his website, and that is DericMuhammad, all one word, .com. And we do appreciate you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome, and thank you for the work that you're doing. It's important. Well, today is not only Father's Day, it's also Juneteenth. Talk about a big confluence here. We'll tell you about a big musical celebration tonight featuring a performer who was a key player with the Godfather of Soul. That's coming up next. But first, a Stop by Lemonade Day in 3rd Ward put on by the Blue Triangle Community Center. It teaches youngsters how to start, own, and operate their own business. All these pictures courtesy of the Defender Network, and we will be back.